It's always a joy to come your way Saturday mornings. And so on this Saturday morning as well, we are grateful for the gift of life and the opportunity to come your way. I want to give a big shout out to Stanley and Mary Ando, such amazing people. Keep up the good work you are doing, and God bless you bigly. This is Farm Life, your regular family enrichment program, live here on CT 97.3 FM, meant to make us a better version of ourselves, to have thriving relationships, marriages, families, and more. It's been said that the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. And how we manage that is very crucial to what the outcomes can or may be. We all come into life, and there are two aspects of who we become. One is nominal growth, which is that every year a new age begins. Whether you like it or not, nobody grows younger in age nominally. But then there is the intentional growth, which is adding something to yourself. So when you learn a trade as you grow as a toddler, your parents take you to school, you become a preschooler, and you go to school, or if you use the other route of learning a trade, you are attached to a tradesman or somebody who does one work or one job or the other, then you learn. Or you go to school, go through the formal educational system, primary to secondary to tertiary, and then you begin to work and you go on. So the nominal growth of life would happen. But the intentional growth of life is what we call the developmental process, where you put in it aspects of things that make you better. Now, often in that regard, we chase or follow or work with what is normal. What do I mean? The so to call rites of passage. And so sometimes there can be a disconnect or a misalignment or a prioritization where we put focus on one thing and leave out the other or others. So sometimes relationships can suffer because we focus on making the money or having a good profession, which is also good, but which in itself may not be the all and all because it's only an aspect of our lives and not the totality of our lives. So being intentional and having the risk then becomes key to who we are. And so when we don't manage that very well, then we become lopsided. So there is somebody who is very relational but not very professional when it comes to their profession or vocation, as the case may be. But in the sphere of life, we have different areas or strands. And so it is very important or incumbent on us to manage all these areas. And once we manage them well, then we have good outcomes. Now, what am I saying? And why am I saying all that I'm saying? So we are going to have another meaningful conversation. In this meaningful conversation, have you heard of what they do to keep roofs from leaking? They waterproof, apply waterproof solution so that a roof does not leak, or so that a wall, they apply a damp proof solution so that the wall is secured and the dampness is eliminated. So we are going to look at proof as connected to another word. And before I tell you what that word is put together with a proof, we'll take a spot of music. And please keep your messages, comments, queries, agreements, and even disagreements coming via WhatsApp or Telegram on 0549 986 996. Again, 0549 986 996. As we engage, please feel free to engage with us and let's do this together. Because Etienne said many years ago that a life that is unexamined is not really worth living. So we are going to examine some of the things that will make us better people, and then people will have thriving marriages. Because a good marriage does not happen by accident. Somebody said that a marriage may be made in heaven, but it has to be maintained here on earth. How are you maintaining your marriage so that it's meaningful, so that it's helpful, so that it's all that it is meant to be, and not a short-change version? Please let's hear Israel briefly, and then we'll read. Sticking and staying. Sometimes life can be a roller coaster. You wonder if somebody remembers you or you are in the mind of somebody. And Israel is telling us that He's got your back. That's God has got your back. I am not forgotten. This morning we are discussing building a divorce-proof marriage. Should I go again? Building a divorce-proof marriage. I told you that we have the expression waterproof. We have the expression damp-proof. So now we are looking at divorce-proof. How to work on stuff so that your marriage is immunized or kept or eliminated from the possibility of divorce. So we are looking at, again, at building a divorce-proof marriage. And I'm going to start with the guys in the studio, and then we'll come to the lady, and then we'll come to you out there. So how are you building a divorce marriage? Please, let's hear from you via WhatsApp or Telegram on 0549 986 996. Again, 0549 986 996. How are you building a divorce-proof marriage? We say divorce-proof after the word damp-proof. Means that you are eliminating things so that the place does not take in water or does not maintain the dampness. So building a divorce-proof marriage. All right, so let me start from the left to right. In the studio this morning, we have the lady, Mary Rose Saki, who is a counselor, entrepreneur, mother, wife, and other many wonderful things. Good morning, Marie. It's been a while and good to have you again.
Good morning, Papa.
Charlie, I like your glasses, so no be easy, and your braids too. Me and my big mouth. So some father now know the assembly. But then the middle facing me right now, also in glasses, is a affable and delectable Mr. Sylvester Sebaya, who is a public health practitioner, a pharmacist, a counselor, a husband, a father, and many other wonderful. And he's been gallivanting around small, but he's back, so it's good to have him here. Good morning, Papa. Still.
Good morning, Mickey.
And good to see you.
Yeah, good
Charlie,
to see you.
give me a point I catch my children.
I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, good to have you. Charlie, but I throw my brothers on the family platform. Because we're all in platform, but to throw them, then I keep quiet, cool. I don't say anything. And I'm laughing at them behind. Good morning and welcome anyway.
Yeah, good morning.
Then next to him, Kevin Annan, CEO of His Foundation, also a counselor who loves
and Mickey.
And so I'll start from your corner. Though it's not boxing.
I know. All right.
So when you hear the word divorce proofing, what runs through your mind at the first instance?
Thank you very much. I think that anyone who wants to insulate themselves against divorce will be classified as an individual who's pursuing a divorce-proof approach to marriage. And I think it starts off with your motivation for marriage. your appreciation of the enormous responsibility that marriage brings into your space. So your motivation and the whole essence or the mission of marriage. You may have seen the publication I did on the 25 plus 1 lessons I have picked from life after our silver anniversary. Was that with a motivation that is based on a master plan. If you miss those, then you are in trouble, because there is a master plan for marriage. So I set off with my spouse to journey towards a certain end. And it is not something that we orchestrated or we designed. We came to meet it. The original designer is our creator. And so anything and everything that you could do as individuals to insulate yourself against damaging what you have toiled, labored, sacrificed to build is worth describing as divorce proofing.
So you're saying it's both to a ministry and what else?
It's a mission and a ministry,
Awesome.
which motivation is anchored in a master plan.
Okay, great. Papa Sil, it's your turn now. I'm going in the opposite direction. What comes to mind as well?
Thank you, Mickey, and good morning once again. I always love to talk about the originator's manual for any gadget, any equipment. There is a manual that shows you the do's and the don'ts to keep your gadget or equipment functioning optimally. So I believe the same holds true for marriage. Marriage is actually designed and originated from or by God, and He gives a master plan or a blueprint that provides some guidance. So for us to ensure that we are divorce proofing our marriage, we need to understand what God intended it for and whether we're actually buying into it. What I realize is that more often than not, many of us are driven by our personal, what do I call them?
The desires,
Desires.
ambitions, expectations.
Maybe predominantly desires, and then maybe followed by the other ones: ambitions, expectations, wants, likes, and all of that. So you talk to people why they're marrying who they are marrying, and the reasons are varied. Some very interesting, others quite thought-provoking. So it's good to know why you're getting into marriage, and it's always important to start from the very beginning. Why am I going into this thing? Are my motives right? Are my intentions correct? Do they align with that of my partner? Do we have the same thoughts, the same intentions? Or am I there for the goods and not for the whole journey, and not for the tough times? So maybe I'll just start by, in addition to what Papa said, we need to be very clear in our minds that we know what the manuals our marriage is, and we are ready to go by it. Because sometimes, take driving for instance. Once you're a driver and you have a license, you're quite confident that you know how to drive any car, but that is very wrong. I learned how to drive manual cars, and in those days there were no automatic cars in town, or if there were, they probably were very few. So the first time I got into an automatic car, I was thrilled, but I really hadn't learned to drive it. Somehow the notion was that, they are easier to drive than the manual cars. If you know how to drive a manual car, driving an automatic car is much, much easier. To a large extent, it's true. But if you don't know, and for the first time, I was used to a handbrake that I'll pull with my hand. So I get into this car, and there's a foot brake. So yeah, and then you've got to get to know
so that you feel that if you're not careful, you step on the brake thinking that it's accelerator.
Yeah, I
because,
mean, well,
because it's two pedals. Instead of
exactly.
three.
Yeah, you need to now be
see.
very conscious of the two pedals
Yes.
and the one that is the foot
foot,
brake
yes,
and then the
and
one
that
that's the
is the
accelerator.
accelerator, yes.
And you also have to be conscious of the fact that there's no longer anything hand to be pulling up.
Yes, yes,
You know.
Yes.
Then moving on from that, now you have the electric vehicles,
Yes.
and the dynamics in the electric vehicles are something
Yes.
new altogether. You know, 2 days ago I went into one of the showrooms, and it was interesting to see where your start button is,
Oh, it's
where
different.
some of them are just ordinary buttons. Even your
Really?
handbrake is just an ordinary button you press with a finger.
Really?
Yes. So you've got to get to understand, and then you
The
can
dynamics.
there's so many new intricacies out there. You can roll up your side glass on your screen. You can start your car remotely. That one has been around for some time. So there are all these things.
New generation.
If you do not read the manual for this new toy you want to buy, you would totally be messed up. You can actually get stuck somewhere and go like, okay, so what do I do next? How do I move this thing? You know. So understanding the manual, appreciating it, following its guide. You can read the manual and not follow it. That's the other thing. So read the manual, follow it. It makes a lot of difference when it comes to divorce proofing your marriage.
Awesome. Thank you for your good presentation as well as we are setting off. Give me a high five. Good to see you. Charlie, I'm wearing glasses. Let me put on my sheets. Naughty me. I tell myself I'm 5% naughty. That's those 5%, not the negative naughty, though. Lady Mary, you've heard what Amos and Sylvester have said so far. What is your intro to this thing? Divorce proofing. And then now we'll drill deeper.
Okay, thank you very much. When I hear the word proof, I think when I was growing up, the first time I heard the word proof, you say I'm a fancy, but it doesn't matter. When we used to make pancakes in frying pans that were, I don't know whether they were aluminium or that, not the non-stick kind of frying pan, but those.
Yes.
And if you made pancakes or even sometimes fried eggs without proofing your frying pan, then it tears into pieces. So every time,
Back in the
I remember it was a word in my house. Proof it. And we usually use salt.
Don't they say one proof then?
Won't proof it, fancy.
One proof
Won't proof frying pan. One to So you usually use salt. You put it and then put smooth to,
Smoothing
kind of
the thing.
smoothing it, so that you have your pancake perfect. I also know that when you are proofing your house or there's leakage somewhere,
Yes.
you use some material to proof it. So it's kind of a preventative thing.
Yes.
So when we talk about divorce proofing, you are talking about preventing divorce in the marriage you are entering. And I believe most people marry not to divorce. No matter the intention, we don't marry to divorce.
Yeah.
We may marry because of what we get in. We may marry because whatever reason, but we don't marry that I'm going to marry and divorce, except it's an arranged marriage. Yes.
That's true.
Or marriage of convenience. But
Crack,
real marriage doesn't, have a starter point as we're going into this, because it takes a lot of considerations, a lot of discussions, a lot of people to get into marriage. And so nobody goes with a mind that I'm going to divorce. And because they go in with that kind of plain or open, or if I should say simplistic mindset that I'm marrying, and that everything automatically will follow. We don't tend to discuss divorce even at the beginning, to know how to divorce proof this marriage. And divorcing is going our separate ways, allowing little things to come in to break whatever united front that we have. So when I think of divorce proofing, like I said, it's a preventative staying together for a long time or for a continuity of their marriage into as many years as they would want it to, for them to reap all the benefits of being together. So that's how divorce proof, comes to me. And there's so many things you can do to have a divorce proof marriage. There's so many things which I believe that we'll go into. So basically, you are trying to prevent a tear. You are trying to prevent a scramble. You are trying to prevent divergent, going in divergent ways instead of converging all the time. You find yourself going away, and away, and before you realize it's become a big patch that you can't, a big hole that you can patch. So it's very necessary for us to always, and especially for the new married couples and those who are yet to enter and those who are in already, because even people marry 50 years and they start discussing divorce. Interestingly, there's this movie I love so much. It says my big fat Greek wedding. It's a very very funny movie. It's not real, but it's a very funny movie. When a couple had married for so many years, an old man and an old woman with their children and grandchildren, and suddenly the woman said the man didn't propose to her, so the marriage is over. He has to redo everything and marry her. Otherwise, they are divorcing. Very interesting.
All she wanted was a proposal.
A proper proposal.
Proper.
A proper proposal.
So qualified. Proper.
Proper. Yes,
proposal.
proper
Not just a
proposal.
proposal.
Yes, a proper one. So sometimes we need to, identify some of these little holes and plug them to ensure that no water comes into your marriage ship to sink it. That's how you proof your marriage against divorce. Plug every hole. Make sure that you are not leaving anything unattended, and you get all the surprises, and you think, oh, I don't even know what happened. They divorced, and you ask them what happened. I don't even know what happened. I don't even know what started all this. But something small that you did not plug would cause a bigger issue later. Thank you.
Thank you also for your opening statement, and it sets us off to now go deeper. So, we are so complex as human beings that it's not funny. And so if two complex persons choose to work together for a lifetime, that means that there must be a lot of adjustments, compromises, considerations, forgivenesses, empathy, intentionality, and then building companionship. And so we want to drill down. If you look at the end series, and by the end series I mean, first you are born into a nest. Before you are born into the nest, you have your nature. Now the nature is the biology that you are born with. The psychologists often say that a baby is born tabula rasa, to say they are blank slate. But that is with the nurturing. But with the template of your person type traits or your personality traits, you are born with them. So whether you are an extrovert or introvert, you are born with that. Whether you are outgoing or keeping to yourself, whether you do things A or B, but the nurturing modifies that or enhances it or molds it. So there's the nature, there's a nest, that's the home you are born into, and then there's the nurturing, how you are raised, and then there's the neighborhood, the environment in which you are nurtured, school, extended family, friends, peers, and all that kind. And then you grow up. Then there is the what we call the network. Now you start building your own connections, and you are growing up, and you are growing, and you are growing. Then you come in with the negotiations, the kind of job you do. That job can make you connected or unconnected depending on how you value the relationship you have. And then on top of that, there's your worldview, your experiences that you've had through the years, and your all other communities that forms your nuances. Then when you put all this together, then you come out with the native, that is the man or the woman who choose to get married. Now when all these things are at play, how they make or make the marriage then becomes critical. Papa Amos,
Yes, boss.
what are some of the things, so now we are drilling deeper, that a couple, after I've said all the end series, these two natives who are coming together or have come together, what are some of the things they must hold dear to or they must value in order to maintain or begin, depending on what stage of marriage they are, whether they are started or they have been 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, or even plus? What are some of the things that they must hold dear in order to be able to make or have a divorce-proof marriage?
Wow. This is a
This is a professorship question.
You know, one of the individuals who has done a lot of work in this area is Dr. Willard Harley,
Yeah,
who
Willard.
does the Marriage Builders series. And years ago, I read in one of his publications a work they did with husbands and wives, why they leave each other.
Yes.
I mean, Marie mentioned that nobody's intention to leave the other person, unless, of course, they are motivated by malice or other things. You know,
By cash.
by
I read a story about a woman who said that says that how to be rich without having to sweat. So she's teaching
marry
other
and
women.
divorce.
Yes, so she's teaching other women how to trap rich men, the millionaires and the billionaires,
Evil
and then yes, divorce them, and then you take their money, then you go, then you marry another. So there are a few, but that's not the major.
But even the men know it.
Yes, so
Because
that
I
the men
know
are
it was
becoming
a
wiser.
male who told me this. Do you know how to get rich quickly?
Oh, so the men
And
too
I
are
was
doing
like,
it.
what is that? Marry a rich man, divorce him, get your money.
Oh, I mean,
It was a man who said this. I
that the
heard
woman.
the first time.
I was telling you how.
Yeah, you said a woman wrote that,
Oh,
but
okay,
a man
please,
told
please,
me this.
oh,
The
okay,
first time I
okay,
heard was
okay.
a man who said,
before you get into what they call gender wars, let's
do you hear what
continue.
he's saying? That she was told, a man told her that that's how she as a woman can get rich without having to work.
So
Yes.
he's proofing himself.
You know,
You survivors, please carry on.
let's also remember that, especially in the West, divorce is a big business. It's a huge industry. Some time back, Kando Entertainment did a documentary, and it's titled "Divorce Industry," and it's a $50 billion industry.
Wow.
Although you need to watch the documentary online. Divorce
industry.
Cop. Yeah, Divorce Cop. You need to watch it. It's a sad thing. I mean, I remember in 2012 in the Netherlands where I watched a CNN discussion called the Passport. And there was this Dutch guy, though I was in Holland at the time, I didn't know there was such a facility until I was watching CNN. And then they were discussing this Dutch business guy who had seen processes were becoming cumbersome. So he set up what he calls the divorce hotels. And it's a quickie facility. Now, so let's also see that the persons with these kinds of motivations, I always, anytime talking about divorce, would quote Will Smith. I know this is his debacle. He's not been too attractive to many people. He found statement, and I quote, "Marriage is the hardest thing you would ever do. The secret is removing divorce. Anyone who gives themselves that option will get a divorce." End of quote. Maybe I go over. It says,
Go over, yes.
marriage
Go over.
is the hardest thing you would ever do. The secret is removing divorce as an option. Anybody who gives themselves that option will get a divorce. Talk about motivation, because there are individuals who are in an experimental escapade. They are on some kind of exploration.
let's
In
try and
the
see.
waters.
Exactly, testing waters. And you talk people who divorce and want to come back. So Willard Harley asked women why they leave their men. Maybe I'll share a few. First, my husband is no longer my friend. He lives life as if we weren't married. My husband has become a stranger to me. He doesn't show any interest in me and what I do. When he hurts my feelings, I hurt all the time because I feel alone and abandoned. When he wants sex, it's the only time he pays attention to me. He's never there for me when I need him the most. Then he went to the men, and these were some of the things the men said. I feel that she's trying to fix my life. She treats me like one of her possessions. She compares me with other men, especially her ex. She nags and disrespects me at all times. I am denied intimacy and sex is used as a weapon. I think she competes with me rather than compliment me. She's overly suspicious, reactive, and insecure. These were amongst many decisions. I mean, I just pick a few. So you can see that it is the experiences people have when they relate it with their expectations that causes wanted was.
Yes.
So unmatched experiences and expectations. There's
Okay.
some kind of a mismatch.
Okay.
I always say to people that when I hear people say, "Oh, unima worry and our worry you go," I tell them, please pause. Because it takes two to tango. But when it comes to divorce, it takes one unhappy to bring about divorce. It's often by two, unless in some extreme situations, parties realize that there's something both of them can get along with. Then they say, let's
As Mary Rose
But-
said, unless it's a prearranged,
yeah.
the one that they have predetermined that 10 years from now,
That one is prepaid.
it's
That one is
transactional.
prepaid divorce. Prepaid divorce. So ordinarily, you can give off. I always say you can give off 100% of your trust, your love, and everything, but you cannot be too sure the other person is giving their 100%.
Absolutely.
And people are doing what this just in case thing. They give 80% of themselves, lift it.
That will cupboard me.
I can't cupboard me. Amen. God bad. Otilo 80. And the accounts will say, Madame Honso. You know, they say things like, "Who be denting a boss in the background, no in any You know, they will give you all these fine rhyming statements, and they justify their actions. So once they are in it, they actually
One that you said.
who be denting a boss or in the background, no in any or in the background, you know.
Agro. It's there with their child, and he looks somewhere else.
Yeah, you know, they will give you all these kinds of things, and your work can no slow. So people are
Primed.
exactly.
Yeah.
Not long ago, I had the privilege of preaching at a wedding, and I had 7 for them. The first one was this: are you in this with your whole heart, or partially with your heart? So if a person comes
We are
into
in for a
marriage,
long haul.
you see, some come. Oh, okay, let's start it. If things don't go well, you know, yesterday one article I read, it says that we have shifted from "till death do us part" to "until I am happy."
Hey, then that one don't start.
Because you think
Until I'm unhappy. I mean it until I'm unhappy.
but you know the thing that make you unhappy. Yes. You know, marriage is work.
And there must
But
be a
people
commitment
come in with that flimsiness that it's a flimsy touch and go thing. It's not.
It is that we have moved away from "till death do us part" till I am unhappy. So I'm in this with you until I'm happy.
Then I'm out. And out of here.
And the things that may cause you to be unhappy may not even originate from me.
Exactly.
Precisely.
But you'll be held accountable.
Yes, because you are in the space with them. Well, you know, we should look at all these things, and but of course, if you go into some specifics, you realize infidelity is a cause, is over intrusive in-laws, those kinds of things. Those then will be the other specifics that are within context.
Yeah.
So I'll stop here for Marie and Papa Sil too.
Yeah. But still, so let me come to you now. Yes. So please take us also on. What are some of the things that spouses need to be minded about? in order to prevent a divorce. When we value this work, and even if it's made in heaven, the maintenance must be done here on earth. And so, and they said it may look greener on the other side,
Yeah.
but it has to be mowed.
It has to be maintained.
It has
It has to be mowed.
maintained.
So when you are
Manicured,
when you
manicured.
are other so green and lush, you think
You
that
know
is
what
how to
it
when
has
you
gone
get there.
into
Then you say,
it.
actually, it's not every week you have to mow the grass so that it
And it's
doesn't
not
grow.
just the mowing.
Yeah.
I mean, there are no
Manicure.
rains. You're
Yeah.
Yeah,
watering.
no, what
you're-
more in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, manicure. We manicure.
Yeah.
Manicure it, because when you manicure,
Yeah.
it entails mowing,
Yeah.
the watering,
Yeah.
and then taking
trimming.
out
Trial and
all
manicure.
the strange weeds that
Yeah.
are coming and trimming the
Competing with
edges
the
so that it
edges, it
doesn't
looks
hit.
sharp.
Yes,
Yeah,
sharp. So
yeah.
it doesn't
Nice.
hit and then grow back.
Hey, when I want to mow them, I'm told actually, wait, she can take like a week to pull out the weeds and then you come
Few,
and
few,
show,
few,
come and
few.
show us you see how far the roots are. So if you just mow, it's
You won't
spreading.
achieve-
With
Yeah.
time, it is going to take over the grass for those who have heart.
Hey.
Well,
And hey.
that,
Exactly,
you know, and it's the
exactly.
same for the.
Exactly.
So I think it's good to have a starting point. Shared value. On critical thing, your shared value. Do you believe in these things like integrity, transparency, of love, being nice? You know, I believe in Papa, you believe in something else, you know. I believe that it's okay to hang out with the boys every evening, and you go like, okay, I should just be at home and be on my phone and doing social media. Things that eventually trigger a lot of conflicts, and you need to guard against, you know. Then be friends. Don't marry somebody who is not your friend, you know, or at least work the friendship into the relationship. Otherwise, if you just got married because there was a one night fling somewhere and something happened, you got pregnant, and say, okay, once you've impregnated her, marry her. That's motive, but it's not very safe, because sometimes, in fact, a lot of times, those relationships in a lot of marry him. So it's like the parents put a gun to your head and say marry him. If you see that marry her, if you see this person is not even interested in your daughter, don't force her on him. You are literally signing her death warrant. She's going out there to get beaten and abused extensively, you know, and the abuse may not just be physical, it may be emotional, psychological, and everything. So guard against things like that. Then choose someone you can trust, you know. So yes, and sometimes you would start with someone you can trust, and then elements of mistrust come up along the line. But at least you started off on a ground that was quite safe, because it's not like this guy cramming you know. So you're hanging around him because he's showering you with so many gifts, and he's saying all the nice things you like to hear. But when you watch him carefully, his mannerisms, his attitudes, the things he's secretive about, the way you cannot even, his phone is never independent. It is always highly secured, and then he's having some conversations, he steps out of the room. Of those things trigger some mistrust right from the word go. And if there are elements of mistrust from the beginning, they are very likely to grow as you move along. So guard against them, you know. Then you must also, I talked about shared values at the beginning, but you must also build a shared vision as you get into marriage. What do the two of you want to achieve together? What do you want to be remembered for? What kind of lives whose life do you want to impact? How do you want to vision of improving each other's life is critical, you know. Papa Amos talked about the fact that my partner no longer cares about me. He's not interested in me. He only touches me when he wants sex.
Exactly.
That thing means that the two of you don't have anything you are working together at, and everybody's living their independent life. That is not healthy. So to make sure that your relationship is being built along a particular positive trajectory, have a shared vision, define goals, come back and review them, see how you can work a lot more towards them. You know, I was working in with Marie Rose. She talked about living in an empty nest. The emptiness will come one day. So for the people that have built their lives around their children,
Yeah.
and this is what I'm saying it to the women generally, they love to build their lives around
Yeah,
their
yeah,
children, you know, and
Give me the-
yes, the man feels left out,
Yeah.
you know, because today it's about, oh, this child is doing this, I'm doing this for the children, I'm doing this for them, and it should be we are doing this for
We
the
are.
children.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I love my wife for that. She's insistent, like, we're all doing this together, you know. So it's not about I'm doing this. No, we are doing it.
Yeah.
And it's important. So you have a shared vision in taking care of the children. When they are out of the nest, you are, as you're doing it for the children, you're also doing something for yourselves.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. More.
So it's important to have that shared vision, you know. Then the issue about communication, when Papa Amos listed the reasons why people divorce, I was like, most people expect things to drop from heaven into their marriage, and then they can say and they lived happily ever after. No. How did your partner become so distant from you and you never talk to him about it? You never talk to her about it? Is it that you did, but he just wasn't listening? So dealing with the communication aspect on a very consistent basis is critical. And we all lapse every now and then because, yeah, sometimes you're so preoccupied with something that you're not making time to just sit and talk. But once you come to the realization, at least one partner should prompt the other that, hey, we haven't sat and talked in a long while. Can we devote some time?
You know, men don't like, can we talk?
No, well,
It's because
no,
many women
can-
make
can
it like
we-
BNI official.
no, can we talk? It's
always-
a
it's
threatening
like-
statement to the man.
So I often,
Can we talk?
So I often tell people that, especially
If
for
you say, can we go out for dinner? It's
It's
different.
different.
But
You-
we
Can
want
we
to
talk?
talk,
But don't say, can we talk?
Exactly.
So, can we go out for dinner?
Touch
Then
the
you can.
soft
Yeah.
ground.
Yes,
I mean, who
and
doesn't
it's-
want
you know,
it?
Who doesn't want dinner?
You know, so maybe the dinner can happen
I'm only
much.
bringing this out for people to hear
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
often the issue
so
where
you're
you are,
absolutely
can
right,
we
Marie.
talk? And then it triggers so many things.
You're
So what
right.
I've told people is that the can you talk evokes a certain reaction.
Yes.
So what you need to do is that if the can we talk always is on criticisms or concerns or what you're not happy about,
Problems.
then the person is likely to build a defensive wall. But
What
make
is she up to today?
But make the can we
What?
talk, but make the can we talk sometimes a time of appreciation.
Yes.
Then
and
when you
and
say-
don't use
then-
that statement if the person feels threatened by it.
then when
Exactly.
then
it's
when,
part of communication.
yes then but you see when they will stop feeling threatened when now they don't know what's at stake. So if sometimes
Suspense. Give some
if
suspense.
sometimes the meeting is about thanking him or her for all the wonderful things she does, then the time you say the next time you say can we talk, you don't know whether you're going to thank her or you're going to you get me. So it's something I've told people, and as they have begun practicing, they are seeing the difference. Because if the can we talk always comes with that sternness and the person is already anxious, then they may either not let it happen or they'll come stonewalled already.
They're ready to
Ready to
defend.
defend.
I'll tell you
Ah.
something about
Yes,
please carry on.
somebody who there's a guy who used to fail an exam consistently, you know. But when we looked at the time I was in charge of those exams, when we looked at his track record, he was a good student. I mean, solid, you know. So after the third
Exams
time,
phobia.
yeah, third time, we were like, we need to find out what is happening. So the one of the panelists called him aside and asked, and he was like, once he gets into the exam room, he blanks out, he's
Wow.
tense, he's
Yeah.
confused.
Exactly.
You know?
Some people are like that.
And then he sits in front of me. So it's in two parts. There's a written part and then there's the oral. He sits in front of the panel. He's totally tense. He can't think, you know. So they found a way around it for him, and he was fine, you know. So if a particular language, a particular way of communicating something triggers a wrong response, avoid it.
Okay.
If you know that can we talk will bring defense, argument, and fight, change the approach. prepare nice dinner. I say, oh, today I wanted to surprise you. I've cooked something
You
nice
see,
for you.
sorry to cut you, but there's also that one when you want to be so, oh, hello, my dad. You go straight to the point.
So it's the same thing. It's the same can we talk. So it's the language and the interpretation of the other
The
person's
point
mind.
is this. If whenever you are being nice, it's because you're going
Exactly.
to get something,
Yes. Or
The
say
man-
something.
men also become suspicious.
Yes.
So does it
Because
mean
that has
that
been-
you have to come up with an approach that is unpredictable?
You must be creative.
So
You must
today
be creative.
you must
you
be
are
creative.
being
Change
nice, the
the
next
style.
Yeah.
day change your style.
Diversification.
You like this.
Because you see, I often tell people the 3 M's.
Yes.
Let your motive determine the method and then the moment. So the timing is the moment. The method is the approach. Then the motive is what you intend to achieve. So if you want him or her to be aware of something that you are unhappy about, you don't have to say it immediately. So that you may have to show kindness over extension for some time. So then and wait for the right moment. But if you are nice because you want to get their attention, like they say men are nice, like what Amos read, well only when they want sex. So some man will start doing all the nice things
Yeah,
when they do at the night, but nowhere it's going to
He's
end.
doing all the laundry. Even things that must not go into washing machine. Oh, washing machine. You know what? The thing went into the washing machine and it brings anger. Then it backfires. Why bregu?
All
Why
that gender
bregu?
has failed.
Cost 90.
You know that a lot of women often say that they want romance, not sex. But men want sex. We can't start and not end. So even learning to overextend and show affection
One
without
guy-
sex,
one guy said,
it's
"Intina
all
me-
part of the learning.
Into the main pair romance, no. It's also there. As soon as you hear this, it's a harder. Or the abo,
Mercy.
mercy. Into the main pair romance, so he wants penalty kick.
He has to play a full game.
No, Jack, you're passing to number 9.
Yes.
From number 9 to.
He has to play a full game because a full game is what will bring the satisfaction both ways.
God have mercy on us.
Touch on my last point.
Touch on.
Yes.
You've given me a good laugh. My goodness. All right. So the last thing I'll say is to set boundaries that protect your relationship. You know. So there are things that you both must discuss and agree that, look, we're not going into this area. One, I mean, flirtations, whatever form it comes in, there are subtle things that ruin the relationship. They are the foxes that destroy
Spoils
the
the
vine.
vineyard.
Yeah, so you want to guard against it. And I say to people all the time, the fact that you are married to your beautiful Abby does not mean that there are no other beautiful girls in town.
Yeah.
C'est ça.
Yeah.
Bob,
You know. So people need to understand that you have said for better, for worse. And when you were
Stay
saying the
faithful to
vows,
it.
you said forsaking all others and all of that.
Yes.
Yes. So commit to that.
Yeah.
Conscious of the fact that there will be other attractions along the
Exactly.
way. So see how you can protect yourself against those attractions because
You
they are
can proof
real.
yourself.
Yes, they're real. You know, one of my good friends said to me one day that he and his wife, in one of their conversations, the wife called him and said, I'll mention his name. So it says, like, let's say, Mickey, tell me, are there other women that have been attracted to you or that you have been attracted to since we got married?
How do you answer
How do you
this?
answer this one?
that was a big one, you know. But I think they were trying to have frank conversations,
conversations.
you know, and
Yeah,
it wasn't necessarily about mentioning their names and all of that.
Yes.
But I think the goal should be that you must both be honest about it, and it's both ways.
Being transparent.
Yeah, being transparent. You get attracted to people sometimes because of their intelligence, sometimes because of their outward beauty and all of that. But in your mind,
You know.
I'm
you
married
should know.
to you,
One, yes.
and that is it. And I'm not going beyond, I'm not crossing this line because sometimes, I mean, very unconsciously, people get into emotional connections just by either meeting regularly, talking regularly, and all of
Working
that.
in the same space. Workplace, yes,
romance
yes.
Yeah.
is so real because you've just gotten connected
Yeah,
with somebody
yeah.
who solves your problems on
Yeah,
a regular
yeah.
basis at the
Shows
workplace.
you warmth,
Yeah,
kindness, consideration.
precisely.
Without even
You
you
know,
asking for it
so
consistently.
before you realize, one thing is leading to the other, and
Yeah.
you're getting out of control.
Yeah.
So be open about it, and then let your partner help you draw boundaries as far as that is concerned. And I was talking to this lady, and she was like, "My husband stayed with my bridesmaid when I was out of town."
Okay.
And so one of the days I was traveling out, and my bridesmaid called me and said, "Oh, I'm doing dinner with your husband today." And before she left home, the husband hadn't told her anything.
Wow.
So she calls him and goes like, when I was leaving, we talked. You didn't tell me anything. So why is she calling me to tell me this? What's happening? And then he took offense, you know. So guard against things like that, you know, because people have also assumptions. People have just taken things lightly, treaded slippery ground, slipped and fallen, and then it's caused a lot of damage to the relationship. So just build boundaries as far as you can, and the element of open, transparent communication helps deal a lot with that. So I'll pause here for now.
Super.
Awesome. Before Marie comes in, please, we are on Farm Life, your regular family enhancement program meant to make us a better version of ourselves, to have thriving relationships, marriages, families, and our own other interactions. Please keep your comments, queries, questions, and contributions coming via WhatsApp or Telegram on 0549986996. Again, 0549986996. And let's do this. We're discussing building a divorce proof, and so far we've discussed quite a bit. In the studio is Amos Kevin Annan, Sylvester Segbaya, and Marie Rosaki, and we are doing it together. We are going to go for a break, and then when we come back, I'll hear Marie, and then we'll keep going. Somebody has said that effective communication in marriage involves active listening, using the I statements more than the you, and then being empathetic and showing validation, remaining honest, like Sil has said, and then giving your partner undivided attention, your disrespect.
Yeah, absolutely.
So please, it's all part of the process. Let's do what we can. Marie, the guys have said a lot to you. Say what you have to say in addition. Then after, what I want all of you to look at for me is the issue of resentment. How big is it in the scheme of things? But let me hear what you have to add as well to what excuse me.
Sorry.
Emotion. Sure, I've said.
Anyway.
Sorry. Please
Thank
go
you
ahead.
very much. Yeah. So, well, a lot has been said, but to divorce-proof your marriage, I was reading something from John Gottman, and he has been a couples coach for many years, and it has he has a lot of a lot of things that he has developed for couples laboratory and stuff like that. He has a whole laboratory to study couples, and he said something. If you want to divorce proof your marriage, there's so many things, but the one major thing is that he used it like turning towards instead of turning away. Turning towards. And so every time you have a mindset that I will turn towards, I will do positive things that bring good rewards to the marriage that I'm in. You are looking at issues that bring development, that brings love, that brings congenial environment for the marriage. And turning towards is just a way you try to connect with your partner to the situation. whether it's good times or happy times or unhappy times, you try to connect in different ways. And these connections can come about either by verbal or non-verbal ways. So you know that your spouse has done something to anger you or to annoy you or to upset you, and the general human feeling is that I'm angry, so I turn away from you. I'm angry, so I'm turning away from you, or I don't want to look, or I'm not really into you. But Gottman is saying that those are the little foxes we talked about earlier. You start, I'm turning away from you one day, you do it once, the next time you do it twice, the next time, and then it becomes a bigger hole.
Okay.
So instead, I think that you have to intentionally, this is what I personally add into what Gottman, you have to intentionally decide that I am going to turn towards you. I'm going to be good to you. I'm going to do something even when you've made me not too happy. So it is not till I'm unhappy, but till I make the situation better.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
A positive slant
Yes,
to it.
yes. So
Yeah.
you turn towards, and this can be done through, like, express it in conversation, saying something positive about the person. Okay, you've made me angry. The way you talk to me, I didn't like it. But I'll keep quiet, keep my composure until a good time, like Mickey said, and then the method you're going to use. And then try and bring it out by expressing, oh, you said this, but I choose to do this. I choose to love you anyway.
Okay.
You know, I love you anyway. Sometimes I tell people, when your spouse is really misbehaving and doing things, you need to rewire your mind to be able to think, to do things like that. Sometimes people think, oh, it's impossible. How can I? But it's possible. When you rewire, like your child always look at your spouse like a child that you are raising, because marriage is also another baby that you are raising. So if you look at it from that angle, it gives you a certain empathy. It gives you some compassion. It gives you a certain mindset that you look at, this is a baby you are training. But many times we look at our spouses as old man like you want me to feed you, old woman like you. Don't you have common sense?
Jeez.
But take your spouse as that little a toddler that you are raising who doesn't know anything. They'll be messing up your kitchen or messing up your pomade. You go and they've gone to take your pomade and they've splashed the thing all over the place. You just look at it and shake your head and say, you this child, you know, and smile and go and clean up. Because the child doesn't have the capacity to clean up. Kind of mindset, it helps you to turn positively. He's messing up. Try and do the cleanup by outdoing the person. Always try to outdo your spouse. Don't try to do equalization. You've done me, I'll do you.
So please clarify so people don't misunderstand. I'll do the person in a positive way.
In a positive way.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that's it's clear.
No, I'm even talking about sometimes people think that I will equalize them. You've done it. So me do you in the negative way that you have done me. No,
Okay.
Wrong way.
go the other way. In fact, one thing that pumped at me was that instead of being equalizing or equality, seeing yourself in the same, you have to think about equity, being fair.
Okay.
Being fair. So look at the person and feel for the person. Sometimes we even go out and we're nicer to strangers than to our own kith and kin, our partners, our children.
Is it the case that with familiarity is part of the cause, and then of contempt, taking the given? Somebody says taking the given for granted. So that closeness and that knowing so much all about them, the highs and the lows.
I will,
What do you think?
I will differ from that. I think that, like we're saying, we are trying to create awareness on that fact that you can divorce-proof your marriage.
Yes.
It's the same way. Sometimes we go in there, it's not because I'm familiar with it, but it's because I haven't done anything any way, or I haven't had any plan as to how to handle certain issues. So they happen and then we just respond.
Okay.
So it's action and reaction, action and reaction. There's no proper plan that, okay, as a Christian, for me, that's my steps. It guards the things I do. But if
Are
the
you
person
counting?
not necessarily count, you know that you can't really count, but
Yeah.
it guards you that you have to do it as many times. The
Endless.
implication endless. You have to do it as many times as you can.
What if the
So-
person feels exhausted? They've done it for so long.
You don't have to get
Uncountable.
tired. You have to keep working at
So
it.
what is about the area of flirtation? And like somebody said, the husband or the spouse. This is a woman that are challenging the men.
Yeah.
What if the partner is incurably flirtatious, and the person is doing their best when they go and things, and then they will bring it to their marriage? What must they do? Must they still divorce-proof it by extending considerations?
Well, of course. I mean, divorce proven is not just doing it by yourself. Sometimes you have to seek for help, which
Okay.
I would have come to.
Okay, so please
Because,
carry on, yes.
yeah. So, like I'm saying, you have to do the positive ways. So you try, and once you brought it, let me say, you try your best that you can. If you can't do it, you go for professional help to be able to. That means going for counseling or whatever to make sure that the person is right. But the question usually I'll ask that you know that the person was that flirtatious when you went in for him,
Suppose
or
it-
was he that secretive or
Yes.
hid it from
There are
you
some
that you
they
didn't
had
know?
a signs. There are some
change along
some to
the line.
change
And
when the
yes.
money comes and then the influence of peers. You know,
Yeah.
peer influence. It's
New networks.
It's not only young people.
New
who
networks.
It happens
face influence.
peer.
It's all the way
I
up
have
there.
peer influence on my paper.
Okay. Oh, so I'm
here.
taking your mind. So,
So expression, you can ask questions. You turn towards your person through questions. You can also ask different questions to understand the situation, and then you can also do it by physical guess. It can be humorous. It can be serious. Can we talk? It can be sexual. You know, where some people decide to use the sexual connection to be able to iron out, because that is the time the mind is blank after a good
Amos, why
session.
is
Is it confession you are making? Or? I'm just asking. Is she making a confession?
The mind becomes quite fertile to
I
observe
see.
things.
And still,
And Mickey is
me, I'm cool. Let me wear my shoes.
so electrifying
Let me wear my
here.
shoes.
You should see him.
Betrayed himself.
He's now wearing
Let
a
me
dark
wear my
shade
shoes so you
in
can
this
see my eyes.
bright room.
Look at me. Those kind of physical gestures to be able to sort out. Some people are very humorous, so they can even say things that will make you laugh when you're so angry. Yes, some people are just gifted with that. It's not everybody who knows how to do it.
Yeah.
They know how to make you feel you are so angry, you are bursting at the same time, and the person is doing something, then you can't help yourself. You just have to laugh. You know.
Okay.
So if you have that gift, you use it in the marriage.
Okay.
If you don't have it, find another way that you can use to try and tend towards each other and solve problems. You know, there are things like you have to have a daily check-in routine. When you're talking about, Papa Sil was talking about the fact that when you go to the office, you know, you have office romance and whatever. It's so real.
It's real.
You go to the office because you are married. You think that you will spend all the time together. No. As soon as you marry and after the honeymoon, you go to work. And then you are spending 8, 9 hours, 10 hours. Now that people stay at work till 9, 10, they are even staying longer
Okay.
in the office, spending precious quality time laughing with both men and female from different places.
Okay.
And the spouse is somewhere else,
Okay.
also minding her business. Either also going through the same thing, also interacting with other people. And you know, I always say this, that when they say beautiful ones are not yet born, it is not giving birth to babies.
Okay.
You are yet to meet a beautiful soul, somebody
Okay.
so nice, somebody who will touch you. But then you have to take that decision that I have this far to go and not beyond.
Okay.
So you set that healthy boundary.
Okay.
So in that case, if don't put such measures in your mind, or I'll keep using the rewiring, or making up your mind that this is how far I will go, no matter how sweet or how nice is it. Because we meet people and they're so nice.
Yeah.
I remember once I met somebody. You were saying that somebody came to your office and was on the phone
Sweeping you off
for a
the
long
feet.
time. But you meet somebody and you just click and you can just talk and talk and talk and talk, and then you realize that you have
Sweep you off
certain
your feet.
connections together. You can talk without thinking, and before you realize you're on a certain wavelength.
Okay.
So when you catch yourself, bring yourself back to earth.
Okay.
Bring yourself back to earth. Meanwhile, you are not even calling your spouse. You are in the office, you don't even call to check on her or him. What's happening? How are you? How's the day going? How's work? You know, we take things for granted. We leave it. You have to have that routine of checking in. Checking. Now, WhatsApp. And some of the questions you can ask yourself, which people do you connect with more on WhatsApp or all these text messages?
Okay.
Who do you text more?
Okay.
You know, these things will help you know who you're connecting with more, spending more time with, and all that.
Okay.
Yes, I think enough said about active listening. That's another way. So apart from the routine checking in and all that, active listening, we make eye contact, note to show engagement when somebody's talking to you. You know how the men can lie there and they're looking at the ceiling. You talk, I'm listening.
You know the way we are wired differently. Oh.
The men. You talk.
The women on the phone and say, I'm listening.
Yes, it's because they are trying to learn from you.
Then they've learned well. Then they've learned well because they are doing it.
So you have to have eye contact, note and show engagement that you understand what's going on, and affirmations like, oh, I see, oh, that makes sense, oh, that must have been hard on you. You know, say something to let the person know that what you are listening to, really listening, and you understand the posture. Not sometimes we are listening, but we are listening with defensive mindset. So instead of trying to understand the person's perspective, I am an artist, so perspective is very important to me. Where you are standing and how you see the thing.
That's true.
That's what they say. Some people see the glass half empty and some see it half full. You know, your perspective in life is everything.
It's true.
If you don't get the right perspective, everything will be misinterpreted. So you sit there and try and listen. You say that, oh, but this is not a big thing. But to me, it's a big thing.
Okay.
You are not talking to me. It's killing me. Listen to me.
Yeah.
What can we do about it? But can I talk all the time? Blah, 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 blah. Try and empathize with it. Understand. Put yourself in the person's shoes. We are wired differently. So it helps us to be able to, how do you call it? Bond well and prove certain things so that your partner doesn't feel like threatened even to talk, because even as I'm going to say, he's not going to say anything. I'll talk, I won't say anything.
Which happens quite often.
Fatigue.
Yes. So we need to try and understand from the person's perspective. Don't be prejudiced, you know. Don't be prejudiced, because when you're prejudiced, you don't hear.
Right.
You don't listen. You just let everything evaporate into the air. And when you finish and you ask the person, did you hear what I said? What did I say? And the person can't even remember a thing. We need to look at that. And you can also conclude by paraphrasing what the person has said, so that you know that it's gone in there when you are doing active listening. Make sure that everything goes in. The next point is, I've mentioned it through showing empathy. Try to understand their perspective and all that. And then you have to show gratitude. As spouses, if you want to divorce-proof your marriage, gratitude is very important. Right. We are always looking at the wrong thing that you did, rather than counting our blessings, naming them one by one to see all the things God has done for us. You have this partner, out of the so many billions of people on earth, he decided to choose you to marry you. There was good intention there. Have we nurtured that intention to become a native? I'm trying to use your...
It's you.
Yeah. How have we nurtured the intention to become a native? A good native, of course, you know. So we should show gratitude, you know, in our daily routine. Oh, thank you so much for helping me this month. Oh, but it's his duty, or it's her duty. She's supposed to feed me.
That's entitlement.
Yes, she wakes up, she's made breakfast for you. You won't say thank you or I appreciate that.
It's a wife's job.
Yes, it's your job. Where is it written in this world now? We should know what's mindset where they think that, oh, a man will sit there and cross his legs. Daddy is watching TV. Mommy in the kitchen cooking rice water. Daddy in the living room watching TV. The children are playing. That mindset has to change.
Change altogether.
Yes. My friend actually actually taught her children to say it the other way. Mommy in daddy in ice water. watching yes, TV. So
why don't you abolish it together and make,
that's what I'm driving for, actually,
create something better.
Both of them are not
trouble.
rights
So
angle
that's a danger.
for posturing it. You want
Yes.
to show mommy and daddy doing something
Yes.
together,
Yes.
so
rather
that-
than. But to add to this gratitude attitude that we should have, let me say gratitude attitude
I like that. Gratitude attitude.
that we should have, we should understand that it can start at any time. If you've been married for 100 years and you don't show gratitude towards your partner, it's time to start.
Okay.
You can always start.
Okay.
So it is not only for fresh couple or something like that. If you assess yourself and you see that you don't show a lot of gratitude in marriage, it's time you pick it up. Pick it up. Learn to be grateful for the little things, and you'll be surprised. All these things, when we do psychologically, it builds new pathways in our brains, which even helps us. It's very healthy. But when you are always negative, you are building wrong pathways, which makes you prone to unnecessary ill health.
Okay.
Be gracious. Be grateful. That's all. Sorry. Be grateful for what God has done for you. It might be bad situation, but bad situations don't last forever. Yes. Even in the bad situation, you can look into it and you can still find some good in there. It is difficult. Sometimes I know some people are in a very, very tough marriages. And it's not that easy dealing with somebody who is tough or who has been brought up or wired in a way that is difficult to live with. But a certain attitude can save you.
Okay.
Yes.
and sometimes can even change the person.
Yes. So when you go a long way to make yourself, but when you are antagonizing each other, you do me, I do you, blow for it rather makes it bad. The next thing I'll talk about, then I think I'll end it. I have so many points. If I say acts of service. This helps you to show what we call compassionate love. Let's say, sometimes I'll use it as an example, but sometimes some people can also be mean. They'll say this is your payback time, when your spouse has been mean to you and suddenly the person is not well. This is the time for me to pay back. No, but you have to be compassionate. Sorry to talk about this sad incident that happened recently, that accident of the 8. There was one spouse that when she was crying for the things I watched, it touched me so much. She said, "Nka yare na me nhwe." While she was crying, she said, "Nka yare na me nhwe. Yare da ho na me nhwe na me hu say o yare." But suddenly like that, that compassionate love, that when somebody's not well, this is not the time that we show all out. We go all out and try to help the person and, make sure that the person is put in a good stead before we can settle our things. But it shouldn't only be that you are doing it to settle some scores later. But let love move you. Let that compassionate love move you so that you look beyond the person and see that this person, because he doesn't even understand what he's doing. Is that compassion always that moved the hand of our Lord Jesus Christ? And when he saw the people, he had compassion on them. He was on his way going to do something, but he stopped and went to attend to them. And we have to apply these things in our marriages. It's not easy, but it's doable. It's one of the sacrifices that we make in marriages. If we want to really divorce-proof our marriage, we must have that compassionate love. Let's make their life easier, anticipate their needs, and try. You know that your husband likes, like one woman to, I don't want my husband to go out. So by the time he comes, I've chilled his beer already for him. I've done all the things that will make him go out. So when he comes,
Yeah, people are learning, working hard. Then you see, you won't
yes,
miss it.
you want him to go. He wants to. Some people they say, "Oh, watching football alone is not nice." He wants to go and sit out there. But be a company. Hey, even if you don't like football, you will sit with him and try. Hey, so what's happening? And get yourself involved in
So
it.
it's intentionality.
So you have to be very intentional. My last thing I'll add right now is forgiveness.
I like that
Forgive.
one.
Every day must be a new day. Forgive. When you talk to married couples with issues, they can always go back. Even when we did this 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 6.
20 years ago.
When we
Digging the
married,
rabbit
when we yes,
When I first met
Yes.
you, you know.
Then before they even started dating,
it can
Yes.
just
and they
drag.
couldn't even need that in boy here.
It can drag on and on. They don't know
For
how
resurrection
to.
power.
Mercy.
Basically, they don't know how to forgive.
Yeah.
They don't know Jaimaninka.
Yeah.
Jemu.
And that's so important.
It
Jemu.
is.
So important.
Jemu Maninka. Enyashi. Jemu Maninka.
I hear people say Ghanaians we are too much of famanyame. But I think that has preserved a lot of peace in our society.
Yeah.
You know, that's not to say be foolish and allow yourself to be maltreated and all of that. But forgiving is a virtue.
It's
that
for yourself.
Exactly. It heals
It's
you.
for your own
it heals
health.
your relationship. It preserves you. And it also gives you the opportunity to benefit from forgiveness. Recognizing the fact that we all make mistakes. You know, when you hold on to somebody's wrongdoing, it doesn't help you in any way. It brings hurts. The sight, sometimes people his blood pressure rises just at the sight of someone because they haven't forgiven the
Yes.
person. You know,
And they are
Why
sick.
take
They are in a
yourself
marriage
through-
and they are so sick.
Yes, why take yourself through all that torture when you can actually be happy relationship and through forgiveness. So forgive. I agree with you.
You know, my
perfectly,
favorite quote by Martin Luther King Jr. on forgiveness. He says, and I quote, "We must develop and maintain the capacity to forgive. He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love." The correlation between forgiveness and love
Yeah.
is profoundly significant for the health of a relationship.
So forgive. I think some people have. Sometimes somebody forgive. You know, they say it's like I'm late. Forgive. You know, I think it's a positive thing that we imbibe as couples,
I want
which
to ask
will
my
help.
next question before
Yeah.
I go on. Charlie,
Okay,
serious
go
stuff
ahead.
you raised, but somebody says that forgiveness. He says that marriage is not made of two great lovers, but
Eternal
of two
forgiveness.
great forgivers. Because you see, it's only those who are close to you who can step on your toe.
Yeah.
And in this case, so likely the nuances of the things you like, you don't like, what we call the preferences, the proclivities, the perceptions, the perspectives, and then the priorities. All of them will feature in the scheme of things. And so some things will irk you. So if you don't, but you see, the other side is what we said first, the nature. Some people's wiring is that they internalize everything. It's not intentional, but that is their wiring. Like even this competition, some of my mates couldn't watch because the tension was too
They're
much.
So passionate.
Yes,
over-
so they so
It's the same way people watch football.
yes, so they can't. They
are
have to
crying
watch.
more than
Yes,
the goalkeeper
exactly.
and the coach.
The sad thing is that you also have the skill that you could develop
Exactly.
to
So
detach from these things.
others. But what we are saying is that know yourself. If you find it difficult to forgive, it means that you are not the kind who lets go easily. So seek appropriate help. Sometimes it's beyond yourself. But if you don't seek that help, sometimes you may not be able to. And for those who don't share what is wrong with them, they internalize it. So that's why after 20 years you can talk about it because
Because he's never vented it, so
Yes.
it's still there.
and
When
some
you
of-
vent it,
and some of
it
them
goes
they actually document it. It's not only a mental note.
Chronicled.
It's written.
Have you seen
chronicle.
that?
That's chronicling.
Have you seen that video that explains the brain of the woman and the brain of the man? That the man has in his brain a box that has nothing. And the man often finds comfort and solace in nothing. So, but for the woman, it's a wiring. You know, the guy goes like, he says it goes.
I saw that video. I was wondering
I have
whether
it on
it
my
was
laptop.
scientific or no, whether it was just conjecture.
Please send it to me after.
I'll send it to you. It's a very interesting video.
It is
but
very interesting.
You saw the
And
audience.
it reflects,
and the audience were really.
It reflects the reality when you're comparing women and men to a large extent. But I just want to know
Mickey,
whether it's scientific.
You're talking about this. People find it difficult to read, but I like this verse in Proverbs, Proverbs 18:19, and it reads: "A relative offended is harder to be won than a strong city, and their contentions is like bars of castle."
Hey.
Bars of what?
Castle, you know, the security.
Oh, the security.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I want to plead with people out there. Forgiveness is not a feeling. 2023, I was advised to order his Professor Waterton Jr. He's written on the subject of forgiveness from both psychotherapy and spiritual. Waterton Jr.
Yeah.
Amazing collection.
Forgiveness, yeah.
Quite on the high side, but I was blessed to have had a doctor in the US invest in that for me. About 9 books. Average of 580 pages.
You mean all the 9 books are on forgiveness?
Yes.
Forgiveness.
Washington has a whole
Waterton has a whole
series.
collection on
That's what he
on
is
forgiveness.
into.
That's his
I think
area. He discusses the spiritual roots of forgiveness, the
yes,
psychotherapy.
Waterton.
He's an amazing author.
Yeah.
Now, he talks about forgiving is forgiving. So you must give.
Yeah.
You have to render it.
Forgiving, yeah.
Forgiving. And it is also forget, which is to receive.
Yes.
So there's the rendering part and there's the receiving part of forgiveness.
Yes.
Many a time, those renderings struggle to render because they think that it will be a justification of wrong done to them.
Yes.
Or maybe I may reinforce this behavior
This
pattern.
behavior, yeah.
And it's going to repeat. Or sometimes he will think, I deserve what I have, gone through.
Right.
And so they would not actually render it. And those who are also being given forgiveness also feel inadequate to receive it. They feel so disqualified that, I don't deserve to be forgiving. And therefore, you let me suffer my whatever. So I want to encourage people out there. Forgiveness is a deliberate action you must take. And when you take it, you must say to yourself, I've taken it anyway.
Let go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It said that unforgiveness destroys the vessel
In which,
in which it is stored than on the vessel on which it is poured. So unforgiveness helps you, the forgiver, more than the forgiven. But often it's so difficult to come to that realization. But when you do, it helps you. Let's go to the console.
Sorry,
Yes.
can I add this? Papa Sil mentioned shared values.
Yes.
I've also discovered that sometimes you may not share values, but you can synchronize your values.
That is, I wrote it here.
So I wanted to chip
Okay,
down. Some
This
individuals,
is
Synchronizing your
some individuals
That quickly,
synchronize
yes.
rather than
Yeah,
necessarily
you have to
sharing.
synchronize
And then
rather
the
than
last
share,
one
yeah.
was inner vows.
Yeah.
Inner vows. You
Synchronize
mentioned the
your
values, you
personalities.
mentioned
That's
the
what I've
vision,
written here.
but I wanted to chip in because your boundaries are actually connected to your inner vows.
What do you mean by inner
You know,
vows?
in each one of us, I have an inner vow that's it's an inner vow. They don't say it to you,
Okay.
but it's in them. It's an internalized
Yeah,
disposition. So and those are very strong.
Yeah, my
honestly.
my
I'm just giving you time.
time.
The only
Fadia ni
experience-
chichiro ho.
the
Some
only
will say,
experience-
Your time will come.
Your project now.
It's just a matter of time.
When I finish my project,
Just a matter of time.
You do
That's-
whatever
that's-
you
yeah,
want.
yeah.
When I finish my project,
We have to go to the console. It's
Yeah,
amazing how
go
time
ahead,
flies.
yeah.
In all that we've said, what we want to encourage is that seek help. Often some people find it unpleasant and unattractive to seek third-party help, and that's also part of the wiring.
yeah.
So But often that is what they need to be able to
They
save
think
their
it
marriage.
shows some weakness in them.
But
Yeah.
seeking help, not weakness. It's rather strength. Because when you are not well, you go to a doctor. So if counseling is difficult for you, do coaching. Because a coach is not is supporting you because you are sick, but helping you to be better.
Yeah.
So if coaching works for you, seek it.
Yeah.
If counseling works for you, seek it. But seek help, because if you don't seek appropriate help, what can be saved may be lost. And it often said that
What happened?
untie, what do you call it? What you can untie. So make sure you've tried all the untyings there is to do before you break. And this divorce proofing your marriage, as we've said so far, can help you too. Becky from Teshi says, "Good morning. Thank you for today's discussion. Sometimes because we want to fit into their lives, we forget to set boundaries and overlook red flags, and we seal the holes." And thank you, Becky from Teshi. Then
Powerful.
Kebu from Dowenya says, "Good morning, City Big Family. I started listening to this program since 2024. 2014. We're not here. Oh.
2014.
We started in 2017, I think.
No.
Or we started, no.
Alright.
20, anyway. Whatever,
No,
it's
2014.
it was in the
and it really helped
teens.
me. Yes.
Yeah.
It was in the teens.
Yeah.
So thank
That's
you,
good,
and
yeah.
it's really helped me. God bless you all. Thank you, Kwebu, for sharing. We are doing this together. We are also getting better. I can tell you this, I've been on for about 8 years. I think I'm sure it's the same with
With
Amos,
Starmie
Esther,
Project.
with Marie and all. Yes.
Remember we started
Yes,
with
the
the
Better
Better
Me
Me
project.
project.
Yes. Lucky Boy from Tema says, "I'm enjoying your program. In fact, the advice you gave me concerning my marriage has really helped me a lot. Now my wife and I are enjoying our marriage. May God bless you all for your good work."
Praise God.
Oh, we thank God for your wonderful feedback. Then Emilia, "This flirtatious behavior of other women from my husband is really destroying our marriage. He doesn't have any boundaries. He shows affection and attention to other women more than me." Charlie, somebody should take note and address it, please. This one is, "Somebody walks into marriage with the intention to divorce. My late senior pastor says nobody has married his or her enemy. When things aren't going right, it's to divorce." Okay, so we get you. Then what?
Nilion.
Nilion from
Sabo.
Sabah
Nilion.
says, "I think one can build a divorce-free, zero divorce or divorce-proof marriage. It's based on one, avoiding motivation from some social media marriage.
That is the problem.
And then
That is the
three.
biggest problem.
And then 3, do not think you are smarter than your partner." And so please know the word again for me.
Yeah.
Nilion from Saboba.
Nilion.
Thank you, Nilion, for your 3
The
strong
social
points.
media issue is really because a lot of people are sitting on the social media
By the
listening
way,
to AI. No,
Yeah.
I mean,
Is-
trying to be able to
Yes,
distinguish.
exactly.
We can't distinguish
Exactly.
the AI things and
Yes,
blah blah, and we
yes.
listen to everything,
Yes.
everything good and bad, and
Yes.
it's really causing a lot of.
BBC on what they call it, Africa Eye. And there's these guys who are doing some crazy stuff
to
to
Dubai.
yeah, Dubai. How wicked can human beings be? So that's why I say seek help, because sometimes if you find yourself in a very terrible situation, you need third parties to support you, because sometimes your spouse needs to undergo support. Sometimes it's mental. You see, mental wholeness is not just walking around naked or nurturing. Sometimes it's the complications of all the things that have come in.